What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I am the Hobbyist, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to cut, paint, and finish a RC car Lexan body. This is going to go through all the steps, including cutting everything out, masking everything off, painting it, and then the final product when you put the pull the overspray film off. One thing I won't be covering in this video will be reaming the holes, because that's pretty simple, and I'm sure everybody knows how to do that. Anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first step when you get your brand new RC body is to cut it out. Now for this, you're going to need some RC specific body scissors. You can use regular scissors, but it's going to make life a whole lot harder. And a body reamer, which I don't have out because I'm not going to be using it. The body that I'm using today is for a Team Associated RC10, a vintage one. Painting this for a friend who's got a gold pan RC10. So, cutting the body out can be kind of split up into two different steps. You've got the rough cut, and then you've got the precise cut. Now, the rough cut is basically just getting rid of all of the major stuff. You're not going in across the lines yet, but you're getting rid of most of the major off-cut Lexan. So, do that first, and then come back and we'll do the precise lines. Alright. So as you just saw, I just went around the body roughly and cut off all of this kind of just, the crazy stuff that's left on when it's being molded. So now, I haven't cut along the lines, so now that's what I'm going to do. And this is where you really need to be careful. As you can see, these body scissors are curved. They also make straight ones, but I don't have them. But these curved ones make it very nice to get those nice crisp edges in areas, specifically areas like right here. So, be very careful as you cut these out, and it'll look great. Alright, so, finished cutting out the body. Two things I wanted to point out that you guys saw in that time lapse. The first was that you noticed that I was using different sides of the scissors for different things. So if there was a curve up, you never want to cut like this for straight lines. That's going to be really difficult. Another thing was, take it off in chunks. Don't try and take it off all at once. That is going to make life really hard. Feel free, if you're getting to a hard spot, cut off the chunk that you've trimmed so far, and it'll make a whole lot easier. The second thing, you notice I took in a hobby knife to clean up areas like this that's harder to get in with the scissors. And also I left this part to last because it's kind of a hard part. You have to get across here and not break this. I wish that body had a bit of a stronger design, but you can't because of the way the shock tower is laid out. Anyway, now that I've cut this out, and since I'm not reaming the holes today, I'm going to real quickly cut out the spoiler, and then we're going to move on to the next step, which is degreasing and masking. Okay, now it's time to degrease and mask the body. Now there's a couple different ways you could first clean the body. You can use soap and water, you can use brake cleaner, you can use bearing blaster. Me personally, I like to use rubbing alcohol and a clean microfiber cloth. But there's one thing that you're going to want to do before you degrease it, and that is called scoring. Basically, scoring is just putting very light scratches in the body, but be warned. When you score something with either fine sandpaper or a Scotch-Brite pad, do not do it over the areas that are going to be clear. So if you've got window masks, such as this body, it's got window masks, put those on first, because if you score the windows, then it's going to be very noticeable when you paint the body. So if you have window masks or you want clear windows, mask those off first and then score it. Okay, so I've just applied the window masks on this body, so now I know where not to score, and I can just kind of avoid those areas. So now I'm going to take my Scotch-Brite pad. You can also use a very, very fine grit sandpaper. I'm talking over 500 at the least. And you're just going to lightly kind of go over it like so. Get all the surfaces. It depends on the body you're painting as well. If you're painting a rock crawler body, then you probably don't need to do this unless you just want to. But finish scoring up your body. You may notice this body is flexing a lot. This is a vintage or a body for a vintage RC vehicle, which makes it thinner Lexan, which is partly why it was really easy to cut. Anyway, while I was talking, I finished scoring the body. So now what you're going to do is use your degreasing method and degrease the entire body. What I like to do first is take a dry part of the microfiber cloth, get as much physical debris as I can out of the body, and then find the part that has the alcohol on it, in this case right here, and degrease absolutely everything. You do not want a single bit of grease or oil or anything on this body, because if you do, then the paint's going to react to it and bad things are going to happen. So, just like that, finish degreasing. Now that I've done my first round of degreasing, it's time to mask off the body. Now, I'll throw up a picture on screen now. This is what I want the body to look like in the end. So, you're going to see there's a black bit at the bottom, silver stripe, a lot of red, and then also in the middle, black with a silver border. So, that's going to be with the paint scheme that I'm going with. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do for the spoiler. I got to talk to the owner of this body, see what he likes. Anyway, let's start masking. Now, when it comes to RC bodies, you cannot cheap out on masking tape. So I use this Tamiya Lexan body masking. You can get in different thicknesses. This is, I think, 3/4 inch, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this is what you use to do the edges. And then I've just got some generic blue painter's tape that's going to go over the bulk of everything. But for anything where there's going to be an edge, you want to use this masking right here. So I'm just going to go over this and mask it. I'm not going to film it because I need to, it's just going to be hard getting a camera in there. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a minute. All right, as you can see, I have gotten everything masked off. Now I want to walk you through a little strategy that I think might help you, that I've used for quite a while now. Right here there's going to be a silver stripe, but underneath there's black. Following the rule of thumb, you typically want to do your darker colors first, unless special circumstances like you're backing your lighter color with that darker color. That can be an exception. But anyway, the black is the only area that's not masked, as per tradition. Now, there's going to be a black or a silver stripe, here, and a very thin one here. So what I have done is before I put down the masking to mask this edge, I masked the edge of the silver stripes and then put masking tape over that for the black edge. So what's going to happen is I only have a little bit of tape to peel off and I don't have to remask. So that's a very handy trick. Things to look out for. This is a slightly oddly shaped body, I will admit, so something to keep in mind. But anyway, make sure that right here there were little holes that paint can get in, mask those off. Anyway, let's get on to painting. Alright, so as you guys saw in that time lapse, I painted the body with some Tamiya black, silver, and red, and then I ran out of black paint, so I ended up having to back part of the body, especially the wing, with flat black paint that I had lying around. But overall, I think it still came out pretty well, and it looks good. Unfortunately, Murphy's Law may have been against me on this project, as there were quite a couple minor mistakes here and there. And hopefully the owner of this body doesn't mind. Spoiler came out just fine, with the exception of this kind of little waviness that happened right here. Don't know if you guys can see that. Doesn't look like you can. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial on how to paint an RC body. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe, and leave a comment in the section below for what videos you'd like to see next. But that's all for today, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.